Are you happy
I think
for
so.
us to hit a shot off your iPhone?
I think so.
Okay. Morning, y'all. It's Monday morning. It's blooming freezing out there. Right, last week's question was about how many of you kind of follow the tours, watch them, how do you follow them? It was interesting actually how many of you were saying that you watch YouTube videos more and that's where you find your entertainment. Not just mine, lots of people kind of say mine, but obviously others as well, which is all good. And I think personally, and obviously I'm biased, I think the YouTube channels help grow and inspire people to play golf loads more, I think, nowadays than any of the tours. I think the tours need to start to reassess, and telly is like, telly lives in the dark ages. It's so funny trying to watch it. Old people who are stuck, I think, trying to reinvent. It's actually slightly embarrassing to watch, I find. I'm biased though. So today's question is, when did you start watching YouTube and when did you realise you could get your golf fix, entertainment, lessons, tips, reviews, all those things from YouTube? This year, last year, 5 years ago, when? Because today's video is going to be about my 10 years on YouTube. I've been on YouTube for 10 years. 10 years! That is mental. I didn't even know. Someone kind of just pointed it out for me, because that's I'm not really counting, and I don't kind of do it for lots of the reasons why people think I do it actually. I do it because I love making videos, and I do it because I love trying to make information that helps you lot get better, because there's this interesting thing as well at the moment I'm finding where golf pros even are trying to devalue YouTube to a certain extent, and we'll talk about why, because I understand why as well. But I would see delivering a message to a massive audience like I've got on here is harder than delivering it to one-to-one person. Delivering it to the one-to-one person seems to have this kind of moral better standing, almost as if it's more important. And also, if that one person happens to be a tour pro, then everyone loses their minds. Oh, I teach middle class to upper class tour pros, got everything given handed to them, and that makes me a good coach. Where does that come from? Just comments down below, let me know when you started watching YouTube, and remember to subscribe, hit the thumbs up button as well if you're loving the daily vlogs. Right, today's video is brought to you with golfonline.co.uk. Last week's winner of the TP5 balls, I think it was, will be announced at the end of the video. But this week, you need to look out for Wednesday's vlog. There's going to be a big code all around your kind of Christmas shopping come this Wednesday. So happy birthday me, 10 years on YouTube. I found my first ever video here, which uploaded on the 15th of September 2007. So it was actually the 15th of September was the first upload I did, and it's hilarious. So this is way before people really were using YouTube within golf. Definitely need to cheer up a bit. Oh, awkward silence. Edit my video. Today we're going to talk about holding the golf club, so how your hands need to go on the golf club. Now, the idea with this video, and this set of videos that was in my head, is that I had students coming through time and time again making the same mistakes. So I thought if I could put a video out there that I can direct them to, so they come for a lesson, make a mistake, show them how to improve it, and then direct them to a video which tells them everything I've worked on in the lesson around my ideas of grip, for instance, on this video. And then when they come back, hopefully there'll be a step forward. So I saw the platform as a great way of putting resource out there for golfers, people who might stumble across it, but predominantly for my students to point them towards, because no one really knew what YouTube was going to do back in those days. And then it's really interesting to see the quality. Obviously how the quality has changed dramatically and fast over the years, because this video is like 360. Like the resolution, I can't get. I mean, there's no HD obviously back in those days as well. So it's so much fun to watch it. Interesting how it's changed over the years. We're going to talk about as well today some of the benefits of what's happened on YouTube and is happening, the negatives as well that I see that have happened and developed over the years as more and more people have come on and more voices are kind of being put out there, which is an interesting conversation which will open up, and then maybe where we see the future of it going as well, which could be fun. Also, 10 years ago, how to hold the golf club. My ideas have changed as well. That's one of the really interesting things I think on this, is you can see actually how I've developed as a coach, which is for me really good to see and fun. I mean, any coach who isn't changing and developing and improving their ideas, I personally would steer clear of. But you can actually see my developments of ideas on my channel. 10 years, happy birthday me. Oh, happy 10th YouTube birthday to me. 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 Woo! Woo! Right, see you later. So 10 years ago, why did I turn that camera on and start talking to it? People often ask that question. I wanted to talk to my students, like I said earlier, and I wanted a voice. I kind of wanted to put myself as a golf coach out there. I wanted to stand up and be counted. I didn't want to have to rely on some dumb magazine to decide if I was right or wrong, and I didn't want to have to decide on some silly TV producer to decide if my message or my coaching ability was right or wrong. I kind of, even in my head in those days, I didn't see how they had the right to make those choices. So what YouTube and the internet allowed me to do is have my own voice, and to have my own voice delivered straight to the people I wanted to hear my voice, and just let them decide. Let them decide, you as the viewer, if the information was helping, if the video made sense, and have that direct conversation as you post comments, and then to react to those comments was just so exciting. It was like, this is self-publicising, this is self-publication, and this is like direct interaction with the people who are actually playing golf, not getting filtered by some stupid editor who says, oh no, you can't say that about those clubs because they pay us this. What? That's not what the normal person wants to hear, is it? So it was that kind of empowering and that opportunity to kind of miss that layer of protection, you know, that kind of protection of their business, and not give you the real message that excited me so much, and to be honest with you, still does now. Hopefully I've got 10 more years plus out of YouTube and talking to you, the audience. You know, it makes me so proud to have an audience, and I still love being able to speak directly to you.
Let's answer your questions.
Hi Mark, enjoying the daily vlogs. Just wondering, I've got a 3.5-year-old daughter, and I'd like to start to take her to the range with me and, you know, just get her to knock a few balls around. Would you suggest that I just cut down some adult clubs and have them re-gripped, or would you buy a specific junior set for her? And if so, what would you go for? Appreciate any advice. Cheers, bro.
So it doesn't really matter as long as you get her having fun there. What I found with mine is I quite like going to buy them their club, because then it was their club, felt like something they were there when you bought it. Do you like that one? Do you want that colour? There might be colour choices, and just get one club and a putter maybe. Also, at 3.5, don't discard like those plastic sets. They can just whack things around in the house. Orla, my youngest, I've seen her playing with a plastic set more than she plays with the real club, because they're light, she can do it, the ball goes. I mean, she's 6 now, but when she was younger as well. Those are really good benefits. Obviously you can't play real golf with them, but at 3.5 you're not really going to. Cutting down a club is fine also, it's just they can be a bit heavy and feel a bit rubbishy. But if it gets her swinging and having fun, then that's not a problem either. Just get her there and having fun. That's the only goal, really. For me personally, buy a little club. I think US Kids Golf, anything like that. Or just go on to golfonline.co.uk site and look at juniors, anything in her age bracket. Get her a club, get her swinging, get her playing, Dad. Oh, there he goes! There he goes! Come on!
That was quite a long way as well.
I'll give it another. Oh, there it is! Come on! So what do you think, Matt? What do you think?
Yeah,
you can have a go?
I'm not having a go.
So, iPhone, still working. There we go. go, off the iPhone. Come on, Matt, you pulled out in the challenge. Brilliant. Well done. Unlucky Matt, there's your phone, Matt. I think I win that one. Right, I've seen some real changes over the years with YouTube. See you later. So when I started, you didn't get paid for YouTube. It wasn't even an option, wasn't even on the cards. I think it might have even been a year or so until I read somewhere or saw a video where someone said that you can get paid for YouTube. And I remember finding the link and applying. And YouTube politely responded saying, thank you, your channel isn't quite accessible for payments. Here is a list of some of the channels that are. And it was like BBC, Channel 4, CNN. It was them politely saying, don't be silly. And then about a few months later, they emailed me saying, we want to invite you to the, what was it called, partnership program. And then it did start to pay. But that was a year or so on into doing it, which I think people forget. Like, it wasn't for the money. It wasn't, which everyone seems to think, you know, it's all about the money. It was purely for the same reasons it is now. I loved making video. I loved having a voice. And I loved trying to connect with you people, the people who are coming to my kind of teaching bay each day. It was very funny at the start as well how the companies didn't want anything to do with me. Like, just you could see they either didn't get it, they completely didn't understand that they would try and support someone that they can't control, because they were all heavily invested in mainstream media at that point. You know, their message, if they like, was, and still is to a certain extent, but they're certainly moved massively now, relatively controlled. You know, here's an ad for your crappy magazine that just peddles the same thing every time, give us a good review. You know, that was definitely going on. So me turning up saying what I wanted just was blowing people's heads off. You could see just the world not understanding it. And moving forward, it's going to be really interesting next year. I've got some amazing announcements for next year, which are going to challenge people's ideas of working with companies and those ideas of kind of manipulating message and what have you. I mean, I still see it going on now, but YouTube is a fantastic defense against that. But it's also not, because I see some pretty dodgy messages going on as well at the same time. So it's it's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Which we're going to talk about, because where YouTube is really positive, I think for the users and for the content creators, there's some massive negatives as well, which, as I've seen change over the years, as more and more people have come on, more and more people see the opportunities. And unfortunately, I just see more and more poor info, more and more manipulation. So going forward, I think it's going to be a great time for YouTube and golfers trying to consume fun content, good content on YouTube. The bigger problem I see, what I call kind of the Wild West of YouTube, is I do see a lot of poor info flying around. So it's about having your trusted sources. There are not many pros, certainly using the YouTube space, that I would trust to have a lesson with or give to my family to kind of advise them to go and have a lesson with. And for lots of the successful pros, teaching pros, they've not made their way on YouTube, and they kind of dabble because they're too busy teaching, which is also a bit of a shame, I think, because they've got such great info to share. But I understand that their business model just isn't built around them doing videos all day, because it's very time consuming, which is something else people don't realise. For me personally, I've got some amazing plans coming, which hopefully you will all benefit from, with some great content and some good ideas that will keep challenging you. And that's what I see YouTube as. It's a great platform to deliver forward-thinking ideas that don't have to follow the norm, but are factually proven. You know, like we've seen the change in the launch monitor info coming through, from face to paths to dynamic loft ideas to what divots can do or not, to what creates spin. You know, all those kind of old cliches being challenged and proven. And unfortunately, and fortunately for people like me, it's YouTube that has taken up, and the content creators on YouTube who have taken up that gauntlet to try and change things, because the modern media seems happy just to be stuck where they're stuck. Even though now I think they're starting to to wake up a little bit. So I think it's an interesting one on YouTube. I think you can get some great content, but at the same time I see some very, very poor content, and it's been able to, I think that's going to be the future for users, being know how to sift this wealth of information. And I would just, you know, any pro out there who's got something to say that they've proven, something that they can kind of back up, get out there and say it. Tell the world, show them how clever you are, or how much you can help other students with your ideas, because it is a great platform for that. As long as we're just not talking about how to edit 300 yards all the time. Please, can we move away from that, please? Right, time to go to swimming.
Where's Fanula?
She's home in a second. We better get ready to go. So thanks all for watching. Thank you all for watching over the last 10 years and supporting the channel and posting the comments and all those kind of things. It's been an absolute honour to be able to chat to you, speak to you, meet you as well, going around the world and meeting different people who watch the videos. It's pretty cool. So post comments down below as always. Let me know what's been your favourite moment, your worst moment, your favourite parts of any of the videos I've done, what you'd like to see more of, all those kind of ideas. Thank you all for watching, and I mean that. See you all tomorrow.
Daddy, look at me.
Last week's winner is in Gary McDonough. Gary McDonough. Congrats, you win the TP5 balls. Remember, Wednesday's daily vlog this week. If you are asking for things for Christmas, then wait till Wednesday. golfonline.co.uk are going to be doing some special code or something, obviously for anyone who's going to buy you your Christmas presents, that kind of idea. Look out for Wednesdays. See you later. Up to the sky, and the way you're going to do that is you're going to try and make sure this front leading edge here is pointing directly up to the sky. So we're going to go for your right angle, left